Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the April 2020 Shadow Work Tarot reading for the sign of Libra. Now, just to let you know, it is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at your Shadow Work readings for this month in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. So do take a look at your natal chart and the corresponding zodiac signs and see which video's title resonates with you intuitively. So just to let you know, I'll be using the Dark Mirror Oracle deck in order to pull the energies that the shadow is revealing at this time for healing. I'll also be pulling from the Wild Unknown Tarot in order to get more insight as to how this applies to your circumstances, if the message does resonate with you, and to clarify using the Intuitive Tarot as always. So, let's get stuck in. I'll start with the Dark Mirror energies. So what is it that the shadow is revealing at this time in order to be healed and purged? What is it the shadow's revealing? Those come up pretty fast, so yeah, there's no messing around. The message is very clear. Okay, to begin with, you've got addicted. So this can present itself in many different ways, because this can be in regards to what it is that, not just what you're addicted to in terms of like say for example substances or things like that. This can also talk about certain addictive patterns, like patterns of behavior essentially. It can also talk about just negative or toxic things that we do unconsciously, right? Not realizing where these behaviors, these thoughts, these ways of communicating or these actions actually stem from, what it is that triggers this behavior or this thought process, right? So it can manifest itself in many, many different ways, right? And it all depends on what is the cause of it, where it actually stems from, what ignited this toxic pattern, right? So there's something there that needs addressing in regards to some negative attribute in your life, okay? And then next you have Black Flower Fragrance, okay? So this is talking about struggling to hide and harbor some very dark feelings, dark emotions, dark thoughts, and being really concerned that actually these things will start to pour out and appear on the surface. So you're afraid of people seeing what you feel is the real you, or revealing a certain part of you that you think people are going to think is very dark, very negative, maybe even scary or just unsavory, right? So there's some aspect that's tied into whatever it is that you're addicted to, or whatever it is, some toxic pattern in your life that is resurfacing, and you're afraid of that, right? You're afraid of people seeing that because you're trying to start afresh in some way, I feel. So just take it however it resonates, if it does. As you know, it is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to each and every one of you. However, if you feel in your heart, if you're honest with yourself that this applies, yeah, watch on, because we'll be able to shine a light on what this is and what it could be and how it can be playing out in your life at this time, and some key advice. So now I'm just laying out the tarot cards. So that should be there. Okay. Just have to make sure I put them in the order they came out in. Okay. So to begin with, you have the Death card, okay? So this is Scorpionic energy, okay? Scorpio's card. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio. You may have it in your chart somewhere, Libra. But either way, this is transformation. This is the end of something, okay? The death of something, the rebirth of something new, transition, change, okay? So this is something burning down to ash, so that something new can be birthed from it, okay? So this is essentially you coming to realize what this toxic pattern of behavior or thought process is, and doing something about it, knowing that it cannot continue because it's affecting your life in multiple ways. So it's you coming to your coming to the realization that whatever this is and what needs to be done in order to address the issue, right? Next you have the Three of Swords in reverse. So this is your energy, okay? Air energy, Libra, Aquarius and Gemini. So it could be that there's something in relation to some deep wounds that you have from the past, okay? That you've been carrying and you feel like you're ready to release. You may have felt like it's been difficult to do much about it, like you don't know how to act upon it, what you need to do in order to release it. But I feel like now that it's coming to your awareness exactly where this stems from, you have a better insight as to how you can approach it, and you're ready to act on it. You're ready to do what is necessary to release yourself from this pain, right? Next you have the Nine of Wands in reverse, so fire energy. This is Leo, Sagittarius and Aries. So yeah, it's again knowing that it's a process. It's not easy. Yes, you have been through a lot, but you are resilient, and you know, it's a case of, you know, there's always work to be done, right? There's always something that needs addressing or needs healing, okay? It's a process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And just because this thing, whatever it is presented itself now, doesn't mean that you haven't come far. You haven't done the work already, okay? That doesn't disregard anything that you've already done. It just shows you that there's still steps that need to be taken, right? That it's a process. But that doesn't mean like you haven't done any work. That doesn't mean you haven't come so far. Because I believe you have. I believe that if this resonates with you, you've already made significant progress, right? But there may be some steps that you need to take moving forward that addresses this particular thing, whatever this is, whatever this addicted card represents in your life. This is the next hurdle, right? And you may be afraid to face this head on because this might be one of your hardest challenges, yeah. Next you have the Three of Wands in reverse, so more fire energy, okay? So this is talking about no longer waiting for things to just kind of pan out, no longer waiting for situations to just arise that bring you in a positive state or bring positivity in your life and distract you from whatever it is that hasn't been resolved in the background. You're aware that you're the one that has to take the initiative, that you have to create the opportunity for healing, right? That it's not going to just happen magically. You have to be open and receptive to that. And then the universe, your guides, the archangels, ascended masters, source, whoever you resonate with, you know, on a higher plane, then they can bring that healing in. But you have to create the window of opportunity in order for that to come in. It cannot come in otherwise. Next you have the Sun of Swords. So this is Knight of Swords, your energy. This is talking about swift action. It's talking about being ready to do battle when necessary, okay? Being ready to conquer the self, okay? The ego self. Any deception, you know, self-sabotage, self-deception, in order to bring yourself where you need to be, in order to finally heal and cut out these toxic patterns that you find yourself in, okay? And releasing yourself as well, I feel, from like karmic situations that are tied to this energy, right? And then finally you have the Seven of Wands. So again, more fire. Fire is very prominent in your chart, possibly, or you simply just have this new sense of energy, this new real, like this is like the realization, the energy of realization, and feeling inspired to do something, inspired for change, right? And that's what I'm feeling like once you start taking these steps, you're going to feel even more inspired. You're going to be able to see more clearly, you know, where you may have felt like it was impossible to make this change. You're going to feel like it's tangible, it's within your reach. There's nothing blocking you anymore from moving forward. It's just a process, right? So it's interesting. It's very powerful as well, Libra. This shows a big transformation. This is showing a big personal growth as well. That you're releasing something that you felt very much tied to from your past. It goes way back, okay? Possibly even back to your early childhood. That was very detrimental. It could be a traumatic event. It could be a series of events that you found traumatic or that had a detrimental impact on you growing up. And you're realizing how that's been manifesting and playing out in through various scenarios in your life. And how you felt imprisoned to that energy because of whatever happened or whatever situation you found yourself in, or, you know, the kinds of people that you were surrounded by growing up, and how their limited mindsets and their prejudices or their beliefs may have held you back, may have impacted you negatively and shaped your worldview in a way that's very negative, right? And as such, you may have fallen into addiction in some format as a means of escape, but only you know your circumstance, right? It's going to be different for each and every one of you. It's not necessarily going to be a physical dependency. It could be just even like an emotional dependency, like codependent kind of energy, things like that, or just negative thought patterns that's very detrimental to your mental health or well-being, things of that nature. It can manifest in many, many different ways, and it's going to be different for different people. So just take it however it resonates. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and do the clarifications. I don't feel like this reading is going to be as long as possibly the first two I've done, simply because the message is so clear-cut, it's so direct. And I know, as I said, this is not going to apply to everybody. This is probably for possibly even a smaller group than the previous readings, but yeah, this message is very, very clear. So this is obviously needed. This needed to reach very specific people. So I hope it does. I know it will. Okay, so clarifying the Death card here, you have the Five of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Wands. Okay, so again, like I was saying, this is huge transformation. This is overcoming inner conflict, inner turmoil. You know, being in opposition of your own better judgment, right? Of what you actually want, even. And you overcoming that, releasing this inner conflict, and the pain that was caused by this circumstance, and you moving towards creating a new chapter, a new sense of identity, a new sense of self as well, you know, getting a fresh new lease on life. Because you're removing all of these negative thought patterns, you're removing, you know, these limiting beliefs or whatever it was that's tied to this, and you're also removing this perception of yourself that you are only what it is that you are allowing to play out through your addictions, right? And you're realizing that that's not who you are. You are not your addiction. You're not your toxic attribute, you know, that's being removed from your life. You are a whole and complete being, you know, and you're capable of so much more. It's just that this, whatever this is, made you feel like that's who you are, but that's not who you are. That's something you engaged with for a long time, okay? It's a very, very different thing. And it's good that you're coming to realize that, because otherwise feeling like that's all you are is something that can stop you from moving forward. But when you realize that you are so much more and you have so much, you are capable of so much more, that's when you'll dissociate yourself from this energy. Sorry, you probably can hear that car alarm. There's always car alarms going off in the street. I can't wait to move, to be honest with you. Okay, so in regards to next card, the Three of Swords in reverse, you have the Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups in reverse. So yeah, I think that if you have like a codependent kind of tendency, where you get into a relationship hoping to fill a void within yourself, possibly especially if you are estranged from your mother or father, or you have a very difficult relationship with them, or if they've possibly passed on, if they have died at some point. Possibly if they died, especially if they died when you were very young. It could be that you were looking for that love, that void that you felt through others, but through connections that are not healthy, right? Simply because you were looking for that love that you felt you missed growing up, right? But then I think you'll come to this space where you'll realize that the best way to free yourself from that tendency is to invest into your own emotional fulfillment, right? To understand that you can be your Nine of Cups, essentially. And that once you start doing that, then you're more likely to attract a healthy connection. Clarifying the Nine of Wands in reverse here. You have the Tower and you have the Two of Wands in reverse. So yeah, there's something that's going to shake up this whole situation. I think part of it is this realization. It's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, I think. And then you're going to see how it's been playing out in your situation. And I think once you see that, you're going to cut out a lot of things in your life. You may even cut a connection with the Two of Wands in reverse here. You may sever a romantic connection or a relationship, or if you're dating or whatever. You may actually cut that off for good in order to continue on your path, because you realize how how this connection is also a symbol of this energy, you know, of feeling like you need to depend on someone else in order to feel whole and complete, or possibly that this person has similar issues, right? That they exhibit these toxic behaviors, or they may have an addiction that's similar to yours, and it pulls you further down the spiral. So you realize that the only way you can get yourself where you want to be is by severing this connection and moving forward, essentially. So clarifying the Three of Wands in reverse, you have the King of Pentacles. So this is earth energy, okay? So we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn here. You could be dealing with someone of those signs, or that could simply be the energy that you are stepping into, which I feel like is more the case here. And you also have the Page of Swords. So again, you're taking a new approach onto how to, open up and allow the opportunity for growth, okay? So you know that there's certain things that you need to be open and receptive to. You know there's certain actions you need to take, and it require a new approach to the situation. You're happy to do that, I feel, at this time. And once you do that, you're going to receive a lot of assistance that's going to help you get into this energy of feeling stable, secure, grounded, free from this energy, right? You're going to free, that's the important thing you need to know. You will liberate yourself from this. It might be a process. It might feel like a jump getting to this stage. But it will probably happen sooner than you think. But you have to be willing to take the next hurdle, which may be the hardest one yet. Okay, so just be aware of that. So clarifying the Son of Swords here, the Knight of Swords. You have the Queen of Swords, your energy, Libra, and the Ten of Pentacles. So again, swift action. As soon as you take that action, you cut shit out, you stand in your truth and say no more. I'm freeing myself from this bullshit. I don't care what happened in the past. I mean, sure, I care, but I'm not allowing this to rule my life. I'm not allowing this to stop me from being who I truly am, right? Then I'm not going to associate myself with such a low frequency, right? Because I am so much more. I'm so much more powerful than that. I'm stronger than this, and I'm going to overcome this. And when you get into that mentality, your true energy of, really feeling like you are wise to the situation, that you're balanced, because you guys are all about finding that equilibrium, right? Inner peace. So this is obviously why this is coming up in the forefront, because there are things that are playing out that show you that you're not at that point right now. So that's why this has become so important for you. So you're going to step into that energy, and once you do, bang, 10 of Pentacles. With the King of Pentacles as well, it's like That is abundance. That's serious abundance. So you can find yourself in a very healthy and stable relationship, very healthy and stable environment, feeling very just grounded and like you have the material aspects of your life down. So where you may have felt a lack in resources, finances, opportunities, you'll see much more coming in for you. And you'll see that the future actually is very bright. So that's very, very positive. Okay, and then clarifying finally the Seven of Wands here. You have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Ten of Wands in reverse, and the Judgment card, right? So, yeah, this is it. Like, once you kind of like step towards that, you take the torch, you use that to guide your way, continue on your path, you know. See that the answer is right ahead, that lies just in front of you, and you're not being blocked like you thought you were. That's when you're going to realize that you are not, essentially you're not being abandoned, you're not being disregarded, you know, you're not being left out in the cold. You know, that there are opportunities coming up for you to release this burden, but you know, there's still something that needs to be resolved first before that can take place. So I think ultimately it comes to you taking this action, right? And you continuing down this path. Like I said, I feel like the next hurdle is the biggest one that's going to really move you up the ladder to the point where you'll be ready to release this for good, right? So just be aware that that's going to be the tricky bit, that's going to be the hardest bit, and that's going to be where it's make or break, whether you release this for good or you fall back into the same cycle. So just be aware of that. Like the next hurdle is going to be the most pivotal in this journey. But the decision ultimately is up to you. So how things will play out will depend on how you choose to approach it. So Libra, I hope that helps you. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, like I said, it's just a process. So I feel like once you're ready to take that next hurdle, you're going to surprise yourself. You're going to see how different things can be, right? If you keep the faith and keep moving forward. And you'll finally free yourself from good from this situation. So in the meantime, take care of yourself, sending you all the love and support. And I will speak to you soon. Bye.